What is the agenda for today's classes? I'm just going to take one notepad. Let me write the agenda for today's class. So I just name this notepad like this, and I'm going to take the class for next 60 minutes. In the next 60 minutes, what you are going to learn is, you are going to learn introduction to Power BI. In this introduction to Power BI, what are the things you will learn is, first you will learn what is data analysis. In this session, in order to understand Power BI thoroughly, first you need to understand about what? Data analysis. First you guys will learn what is data analysis. As soon as you understand what is data analysis, we will learn what is Power BI. Once we learn what is Power BI, then we will learn how to perform data analysis using Power BI. How to perform data analysis using Power BI. In the next 60 minutes, you'll get the clear idea about what is Power BI, what we will do in Power BI. Let's start. So first point is, I said that we need to understand what is data analysis. Tell me, what is data analysis? So many people will give different definitions here. Let me write one definition. Data analysis is a process. Data analysis is a process which converts business data into actionable information, which converts business data into an actionable information. That is what data analysis will convert what? Business data into actionable information. We will try to understand what is business data, what is actionable information. We'll try to understand. I said that data analysis is a process. What is the meaning for process is? Process means collection of steps. Whenever I said it's a process means what? Collection of steps. Let me show you what are the different steps available in data analysis. I'm just going to open one image here that will tell you what are the different steps available in the data analysis. Just opening this. These are the different steps available in data analysis. If you notice here, 5 steps are there. These 5 steps together we call it as data analysis. What is the first step? OLTP. What is the second step? ETL. What is the third step? OLAP. What is the fourth step? Creating reports. What is the fifth step? Sharing the reports to the clients. Okay, let me graphically show you how these 5 steps will look like. I'm just going to open another image. This one we call this complete architecture. We can call it as data analysis architecture, or we can also call it as what? Business intelligence. Some people will call it as data analysis or business intelligence. Both are same. Data analysis or business intelligence contains how many steps totally? It's a 5-step process. What is the first step? OLTP. Second step, ETL. Third step, OLAP. Fourth step, creating reports or visuals. Fifth step, what is the fifth step? Sharing with the clients. Okay, we want to understand these 5 steps thoroughly. Okay, in order to understand Power BI, first we need to have the knowledge about understanding these 5 steps. I can even write more to be more specific. Data analysis is a 5-step process. How many step process? 5-step process which converts business data into actionable information. What are the 5 steps you have? First step. Sorry guys, just a second. What are the 5 steps you have is, write them first. What is the first step? OLTP. Speak out. Second step is ETL. Third step, OLAP. Fourth step, creating reports. Fifth step, share reports to clients. Reports to whom? Clients. These are the 5 steps available in data analysis. Before we understand these 5 steps, as I said, we need to have a clear understanding what ETL means, what OLAP is, what reports are. Before we understand this, let's start like this. Okay, data analysis is there. Who will use this data analysis? Question is, who will use the data analysis? This data analysis contains 5 steps, right? Who will make use of that 5 steps? Who will make use of that 5 steps is each and every company will perform data analysis. No matter whether the company is a small company or big company, they will perform what? Data analysis. Let's assume there are 100 companies. 100 out of 100 companies need to perform data analysis. There are 1,000 companies. 1,000 out of 1,000 companies need to perform what? Data analysis. Every company will perform data analysis to take better business decisions. To take what? Better business decisions. Why companies want to perform data analysis? I'm telling here. In order to take what? Better business decisions. I'll tell with example. So let me elaborate this point. Let's take when there is any company. When I keep on write some company names. If you keep on writing the company names, we can write thousands of company names. Let's write few company names. I can write Amazon is one company. Flipkart is one company. ICICI is one company. In this list, if you keep on writing, we can write lot of companies. I'll just add this institute name also. Analytics Benchmark is one company. So when you there is a company, the company will do some business. You take any company that will do some business. Tell me, Amazon is doing what business? Amazon is doing what business? E-commerce. In it is doing e-commerce business. Flipkart is also doing what? Mostly
E-commerce,
e-commerce. They have other business also. Amazon. Mostly their ICICI is doing what business? Banking.
banking,
Analytics Benchmark. This training institute, we are into which business? Education. You take any company, they'll do some business. Some companies will do banking business, some companies will do healthcare business, some companies will do real estate business, automobile business, some business. When a company is doing the business, from the business they'll get business data. What they'll get? Business data. Take an example. When Flipkart is doing, Amazon is doing e-commerce business, what type of data they'll get? Orders data. What type of data they'll get? Orders data.
sales,
Next one, returns
sales,
data. Correct. Returns data, products data, customers data, huh? Payment, sales data, and so on. So when any company is doing some business, it will produce lot of business data. In the same note, Flipkart also gets same kind of data. You take ICICI Bank. When ICICI Bank is doing banking business, it is doing what type of business? Banking. They also get the business data. What is the business data? Hmm. Transactions data, savings account data, credit card data, loans data, insurance data, and so on or not. You take any company, it will produce lot of business data like this. Take analytics benchmark. We are into education sector. We also get the business data. Tell me what is the business data for us? Hmm. What is the
Students
business data
info.
for this training institute?
Students info.
Students data is the most important business data for us. Without this data, I cannot run this institute. Students data, staff related data, courses related data, fee related data, and all that comes under business data. So when a company is getting the business data, that business data will be stored. Every company must and should what they will do? They will store the data. Some companies will store the business data in the Excel files. Some companies will store the business data in the SQL Server database. Some companies will store the business data in the Oracle database. Some companies will store in some other place also. So might be some companies will store in DB2, some companies will store in MySQL, some companies will store in some other place also. We call them as data sources, right? That point. Companies will store the business data in where means they will store in where? Data source. That data source might be what? Example for data source is what? Excel, SQL Server, Oracle database, or something else. Once the business data is stored in the data source, what is the next step is they want to analyze the business data. What the company want to do?
Analyze the
Analyze
data.
the business data. Company, once the data is stored, they want to analyze the data. So why the companies need to analyze the data? Analyze the data is nothing but data analysis. Companies need to analyze the data to for what purpose? To take better business decisions. To take better business decisions. Analyzing the data means we need to understand where we are performing good, where we are performing bad. Let's say Flipkart is selling 100 products. That 100 products, which products are selling good, which products are selling bad, is nothing but what? Analyzing the data. ICICI is operating in 1,000 branches. They want to analyze that 1,000 branches data. Which branches are performing good, which branches are performing bad. How can they understand which branches are performing good and bad? Is by analyzing the data. Okay, companies need to analyze the data. So in order to analyze the data, companies require something called reports. Try to understand. Companies will analyze the data using reports. Using which one? Let me show you how the reports will look like. Any company which is planning to analyze the data, they want some reports, I'm telling. Just I'm going to show how the reports will look like. So just I'm logging here just to show you how the reports will look like. Let me open a couple of reports here. I'm opening corporate spend report. When I click on the report, it will open customer profitability report, e-commerce sales analysis report, employee hiring report. I just open a couple of reports just to show you how the reports will look like. When I go here, this complete one, we can call it as one report. Look at the name of the report. What is the name of the report you see here? E-commerce sales report. We call this each one as a visual. Line chart is one visual. Column chart is one visual. Donut chart is one visual. Scatter chart is one visual. All the visuals together is a report. This kind of reports are required to analyze the data. We require this kind of reports for what purpose? To analyze the data. If you look at this report and understand, in one of the visual you are showing subcategory wise profit case. When I share this visual with my client can understand where my company people can understand which subcategories are performing good and which subcategories are performing bad. In this visual, you are showing subcategory wise what? Profits. Tell me, by looking at the visual, which subcategory is generating more profits? Copiers is the one which is generating highest profits. Second highest profits? Phones. Least profits? Tables. What is the profit number for tables?
18K.
Minus 18K. Profit number in minus is what? Negative only. What is that? It's loss. It's loss. It's what? Loss. Supplies, bookcases, and tables are having negative numbers. Negative numbers are nothing but what? Losses. When I share this visual, we can understand where we are doing good and bad. Based on that, I can take the decisions. What type of decisions my company taken from here is they are planning to stop selling supplies, bookcases, and tables. Why they are planning to stop selling them? Because we are getting losses. When I share the same visual with my company is planning to concentrate on copiers business and phones business. Why they are planning to concentrate more into this area?
They are having good profits.
Good profits. All right. So like this, what we are trying to tell, when a company need to analyze the data, what they require? Reports. Any company which is planning to create the reports, they need to perform complete data analysis process. Keep in mind, people will think that we'll go and create the reports directly. No. Before we create the report, lot of background work will be there. First, we need to do ETL. Then we need to create OLAP. Then only we need to create what? Reports. We guys will understand why we need to do ETL, OLAP, and then reports. Why not directly reports? We'll understand. Keep in mind, to create the reports, we need to perform data analysis process. To create reports, we need to perform which process?
Data analysis.
Data analysis process. You name any company. Every company will perform what? Data analysis. Every company will perform data analysis. Why companies will perform data analysis? Companies will perform data analysis in order to create what? Reports. So this complete process is data analysis. Why companies will perform data analysis is in order to create what? Reports. In order to create the reports, why companies required reports? Companies required reports for what purpose? Analyze the data. Companies required reports for what purpose means? Analyze the data. Why company need to analyze the data? Company need to analyze the data for what? Better business decision making. Decision making. Like this, guys. Every company will perform data analysis. Using the data analysis, they'll create the reports. Using the reports, companies will analyze their data. Using the analysis, they'll take what? better business decisions. Take an example. ICICI Bank is currently operating in 1,000 branches. How many branches they have?
1,000.
1,000 branches. They are planning to close 10 branches. What is the decision they need to take? They want to close 10 branches. They want to take a decision which 10 branches they need to close. Which 10 branches they need to close. Will they randomly go and pick the 10 branches, or how they will pick it? Out of 1,000 branches, they need to close 10 branches. To close the 10 branches, will they randomly pick 10 branches and close it, or what they will do?
They will do the data analysis.
They will take 1,000 branches data and they'll do what? Analyze
Analyze
the data. When we analyze the data, what we will came to know? Which one is doing good and which one is doing bad, we will understand. We'll go to the branches which are doing bad and we will close them, right? That's what. So if a company need to take any decision, they need to analyze the data first. That's what I written here. Okay, we got an idea. Who will use data analysis? Every company will use data analysis to take what?
Better business
Better
decision.
business decisions. Now, let's try to understand this data analysis in detail. Okay. Now, so before I explain this data analysis in detail, let me tell you one question here. Who is data analyst? Who is data analyst? You people join this course to become a data analyst, guys. Whether it's a Power BI developer or data analyst, both are same. Data analyst. Who is data analyst is the person who performs data analysis is a data analyst. Is a data analyst. The person who do this 5 steps, that person name is what? Data analysis. The person who do ETL, who create OLAP databases, who create reports, who share the reports to the client, that person name is what? Data analyst. Now, let's try to understand what are the different steps here. In the data analysis, what is the first step? OLTPs. What is the full form for OLTPs? OLTP stands for online transactional processing. Let me write the definition, guys. What is this? The place where companies stores business data, we call as OLTP. If my company is in software terminology, software field have a different terminology, right? If my company is storing the business data in the SQL server, we can call the SQL server as OLTP. If my company is storing the business data in the Oracle, I can call Oracle as what? OLTP. Wherever our companies are storing their business data, those are what? OLTPs. Those are OLTPs. So it is just a name. How you got that name OLTP means, let me tell you guys, how you got that name. Another name for business data is transactional data. Some people will call business data as what? Transactional data. Imagine you go to Flipkart website, you placed an order. When you go to Flipkart website, when you place an order will generate data or not? Yes, guys. That data we can call it as either a business data or transactional data. What is the data? Transactional data. When you go to Flipkart, when you place an order, in other words, we call order as a transaction. Order also call it as what? Transaction. That order will generate either a business data or what? Transactional data. The transactional data will be stored somewhere. Wherever we store the transactional data, we call it as online transactional processing. Name itself is telling it stores transactional data. In short, it is OLTP. So what this way online transactional processing will have is stores transactional data. What data it will store? It will store transactional data. The place where we store transactional data, we call it as what? OLTP. Every company will have one or multiple OLTPs. One or what? Multiple OLTPs to store transactional data or business data. So whatever the companies are currently running, that companies will have what? Either one or multiple OLTPs to store what? Business data or transaction data. Why multiple? You take example ICICI. ICICI company will have a lot of different data. They'll have savings account data. They'll have credit card data. They'll have loans data. There is a chance that they might not go and store all the data in single place. Rather than storing all the data in single place, they might be storing loans data in SQL Server, savings account and credit card data in Oracle. In this current scenario, how many OLTPs they are storing the data?
Two.
Two OLTPs. A company will have a single OLTP or multiple OLTPs. Multiple OLTPs. What generally OLTPs will contain, I said? Business
Sorry.
data. Business data will be there. Business data. When you want to start one company, you need to make ready with what? OLTP. Why, when you start a company, why we required OLTP? To store the data, what we are going to get. Nowadays, the most important one for any company is the data. You need to must and should store it. Just a second, guys. Companies will provide next step. Okay. Next step is companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to the data analyst. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to whom? To
Data analyst.
data analyst, and ask to create the reports and ask to what? Create which one? Reports for what purpose?
Data analyst.
To analyze the data.
Data.
So who will provide this OLTPs to the data analyst? Data analyst will create the OLTPs or company will hand over it?
Company will hand over
Company
it.
will provide you. I clearly write. Company provide one or multiple OLTPs to the data analyst and ask to create what? Reports. From this, there is a business data, right? That data they're expecting to see in where? Reports. Generally in OLTPs, data will be in the form of tables. Client cannot understand the data by going to the tables. Tables will have millions of records of data. We cannot understand. We can understand the tables data when you present in which format? Reports format. This kind of reports you need to present. I want to just show how the reports will look like. This is one of the report. See, this is one of the report. This is how the reports will look. When whatever the data you have, you need to present in this kind of reports, right? Let me show you another example. Here, this is another report. This is another report. Let me show you some more reports. Here you can see it. Multiple pages you have this report. Now you have this. This is also another report. Just this kind of reports are required. Whatever the data is there in the OLTP, we need to bring that data and present in this kind of reports to understand the data. Okay. Now, important point is, it is never recommended to go and create reports directly on OLTPs. Make a note. What is the note is, it is never recommended to create the reports directly on OLTPs. It is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs. What is the reason? I'll tell you. Even though company provided OLTPs, even though company is expecting to create the reports, I'm telling that you are not supposed to create reports on what? OLTPs. What is the reason we don't create the reports on OLTPs? OLTPs contains unstructured data. What data? OLTPs contains unstructured data. The major reason why OLTPs are not used for creating the reports is they will contain unstructured data or raw data. This is not only the reason, there are many other reasons why OLTPs are not useful for what? Creating the reports. In the later classes, you people will understand why OLTPs are not useful for creating the report. For now, one reason why OLTPs are not useful for creating the reports. What is the one reason we are telling? Unstructured or raw data will be there. That is not useful for creating the report. I'll show you what is unstructured data, why it is not useful for creating the reports. I'll show you. Now, that is the reason what we need to do now is, now data analysts need to create a new database. Now data analysts need to create a new database called OLAP. What database? OLAP. For what purpose? You need to create the new database called OLAP. For what purpose? To create the reports. As this database is not useful for creating the reports, we need to create a database which is best suitable for creating the reports. That database name is what here? OLAP. What is the full form for OLAP is online analytical processing. I'll tell you how you got this name. We understand how we got the name online transactional processing. Now, tell me this OLAP database, who will provide this OLAP database to the data analyst? Company will provide the OLAP database or data analyst will create it?
Data analyst will
Data
create
analysts
it.
need to create it. Data analysts need to create it. It's a brand new database which will be created from the scratch. Now we need to move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database. To move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database, we need some software called what? ETL,
Yeah.
guys. To move the data from OLTP to OLAP database, to move data from OLTP to OLAP database, we need what softwares?
Yeah.
ETL software. What is the full form for ETL? ETL stands for extract, transform, load. Extract, transform,
Load.
load. So now I said that we need to create a new database OLAP and we need to move the data into the new database we are telling. What data we need to move to the OLAP is, we need to move only data required for analysis. Required for what? Analysis. What is the meaning is, OLTP will have all your business data. But you no need to move all the business data to the OLAP. While moving the data to the OLAP, we need to move only data required for analysis. What is the meaning is, what data I need to show in the reports, that data only we need to bring it to the OLAP. Imagine OLTP have 100 tables. How many tables you have in the OLTP?
100.
100 tables. Out of 100 tables, in the reports, they're asking to show only 10 tables data. How many tables data client want to see in the report?
10 tables.
Only 10 tables data. Now, can I create the reports on OLTP?
No.
Yes or no? No. I said that no, we don't create. First, we need to move the data to the OLAP and we need to use it for creating the reports. How many tables you will move it to the OLAP now? All the
Only
100
10.
tables or 10 tables? Sir?
Only 10.
Only 10 tables. I said that only tables what we need to use in reports that need to come to OLAP. That is what we call it as data required for analysis. As OLAP contains only analytical data. If you understand, OLAP contains only what type of data?
Analytical
Analytical
data.
data. What is required for analysis? That is the reason they call it as online analytical processing. In short, OLAP. Now, when it comes to OLAP, data will be in the structured format. I said that OLTP contains what type of data? Unstructured. But
Unstructured
OLAP contains what type of data we are telling?
data.
Structured. How you will have OLAP structured data is, OLAP is getting the data from OLTP or from outside?
From
What is the
OLTP.
source to the OLAP? OLTP only, right?
Yes.
OLTP when you have unstructured, how it becomes structured here? Because data is moving through what?
ETL.
ETL. If you directly move the data from OLTP to OLAP, then OLAP also will have unstructured only. As you are moving through ETL software, E stands for extracting the data, T stands for what?
Transform.
Transforming the data, L stands for loading the data. The
Loading.
major one in the ETL is what?
Transform.
Transform. The transform means it will convert unstructured data to what? Structured.
Structured
So that structured data will be loaded into OLAP. Now that structured data, we will use it for what? Creating the
report.
reports.
Report.
I'll talk about what is unstructured data and structured data. You guys tell me, you are seeing some reports, right? This reports was developed on OLTP or OLAP?
OLAP.
OLAP. Always this kind of reports will be developed on top of OLAP only. Okay, that's fine. Now try to understand what is unstructured data, why it is not useful for creating the report, why we need to do ETL, why we need to create OLAP, what is structured data, why it is required to create the report. Let me explain, guys. To explain this, I'll just open one small slide. Go to this table and make it a one. Take this. This is the data how we'll have in OLTP database. This is the table which is there in the OLTP. This is the table how the data will be in the OLAP. So we'll move the data from OLTP to OLAP using some softwares called what?
ETL.
ETL. So generally into OLTP, many customers will enter the data. In the Flipkart website, only one customer will place the order or multiple customers?
Multiple customers.
Multiple customers. When there are multiple customers, when they're entering their details, they will enter in different formats. So I will enter my country name as India. Second person might enter in a different name. So here, just imagine in OLTP, one person entered the country name as United States. Second person entered like what? US. Third person entered U.S.US.USA. All these are United States only, but they enter in different format. When you have different format here, you can call it as unstructured. Which one? There are more chances OLTP will get unstructured data. What is the reason?
Customers are entering in
As it
different
is getting
formats.
from different people. Different people will input the data in different formats. Here, one person like United Kingdom and UK. But if you moving the data to the OLAP, everywhere you will make it unique format. You will convert US to what? United States. Converting US to United States is nothing but a transformation. You will convert UK what? United Kingdom. Here you can see everywhere the country name is same. A single format. This you can call it as unstructured. This one we call it as what? Structured. Now let's go to the next slide and understand what is the problem with unstructured data. I'm just going to the next slide. I'm just using the OLTP to create the visual report. I'm showing country-wise sales. Using this table, OLT table, I created a visual and I shared this visual with my company people. When I shared this visual with my company people said this visual is wrong. What is that? Visual is wrong. Why this visual is wrong?
Some of them it is
Ah,
having
so
unstructured.
my company is doing the business in only 2 countries. They're expecting to see only 2 sales values here. Now you are showing 7 different country names, 7 different sales values. I cannot do any analysis here. That is the problem. When you try to create the reports directly on OLTP, visuals will get the data, but you cannot do the right analysis. So that is the reason we never create reports on OLTP. Now go to the next slide. This is OLAP table. This is how the data in the OLAP. This time I use this OLAP to create the same visual. Same what you are showing now. Country-wise sales. I'll take all the United States as one value. I'll do sum of sales and show it. Same similar values can group it and do sum. When I do sum, what is the sum? I can group United Kingdom as one value and 300. This reporting tools can group only similar values, guys. It cannot group them. Why it is not grouping here? Why it is not grouping? There are different values. They cannot group and they cannot show. That is the reason they are showing separately. So now here, when I share this visual with my company people said that yes, this visual is perfectly right. We are doing the business in 2 countries, United States and United Kingdom. United States is the place where we do more sales. United Kingdom is the less sales. They can do some analysis here, right? That's what. I hope you guys understand. OLTP contains unstructured data. When you try to create the reports, you don't get meaningful results here. That is the reason we need to take the data to the ETL software and we need to clean the data. What do you need to do first? Cleaning the data or transforming the data. That clean data or transformed data need to store in a database called what? OLAP. That OLAP database will use it for what? Creating the reports. Now, by this time, we got an idea what is OLTP, what is ETL, what is OLAP. Now, what about the data you shown in the reports? We call that information as actionable information, guys. The information which you shown in the reports, we generally call it as actionable information. Tell me, guys, why I'm calling it as actionable information? The information which is there in these reports, we call it as actionable information. Why we call it as actionable information is for the business, this data will help us in taking the actions. By using this data, companies will take actions. Actions are nothing but decisions. Actions are nothing but what? Decisions. I already said that. Using this visual, my company take 2 decisions or 2 actions. What are the 2 actions they taken using this visual? They stop selling what? Supplies, bookcase, and tables. They're planning to concentrate on what? Copiers and phones. This kind of decisions or actions they'll take. By using the data and the visual, they'll take this kind of decisions or actions. That is the reason we call it as what? Actionable information. We call it as actionable information. Now read the definition of data analysis. What is the definition I given? Now write that definition here. What is the definition we given? Data analysis is a
5-step
five-step process which converts what? Business data into An
Actionable.
actionable. Where do you have business data?
OLTP.
OLTP. Where do you have actionable information?
Report.
Reports. To convert the business data into actionable information, first we need to do what? ETL. Second, we need to create what?
OLAP.
OLAP. Third, we need to create what?
Report.
Reports. And that reports finally you will share with whom?
Client.
Clients. That is what. So in the data analysis, three major steps are ETL, creating OLAP, creating reports. Who will provide the OLTPs to the data analyst? Company. Nothing to do here. First major step for data analyst is what? Doing ETL, cleaning the data. Second major step is storing the data in a separate database. Third major step is using the data in where? Reports.
Report.
And sharing the reports to the client is a easy task. This is not a big work. So now I hope you got an idea. Who is data analyst? What is data analysis? Okay, we are done with the first point now. We need to understand what now? What
Power.
is
Power BI.
Power BI? Second step is, what is Power BI? Who developed Power BI? Which company developed Power BI? Microsoft developed Power BI. Microsoft developed Power BI for what purposes? Microsoft developed Power BI to perform data analysis. To perform what? Keep in mind, Microsoft developed this Power BI software in order to perform these 5 steps. Simple, guys. Microsoft developed Power BI to do this ETL, to create this OLAP, to create the reports, to share the reports with the what? Clients. Microsoft developed Power BI to perform what? Data analysis, guys. Now let's try to understand. So Power BI is not the name of single software. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. So data analysis is a big work. To do this big work, we need multiple softwares. What we need?
Multiple stuff.
To do this big work, we need multiple softwares. That multiple softwares are available. Let's see what are the different softwares available in Power BI. The first software available in Power BI is Power BI Desktop. Second software available in Power BI is Power BI Service Concentrate. Third software available in Power BI is Power BI Report Server. Power BI Report Server. Reporting server or report server. Fourth software we have is Power BI Mobile. These are the 4 softwares available in Power BI. We call these 4 softwares as collection of softwares. For them, Microsoft given the name called what? Power BI. Out of the 4 softwares, the major software in Power BI is what?
Desktop.
Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is a development software in Power BI. It's a development software in Power BI. When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, 90% of time, Power BI developer work in Power BI Desktop only. Even though Power BI have 4 softwares, out of 4 softwares, Power BI developer will work in Power BI Desktop for how much time? 90% of time. Remaining 3 softwares, we hardly work for 10% of time. We hardly work for what? 10% of time. So when you complete the Power BI, people will call you as a Power BI data analyst. If you learn the Power BI course for next 2 months, you'll become a what?
Power BI.
Power BI data analyst. So, okay, once you become a Power BI data analyst, you'll go and join in one company. You'll join in one company after you become a Power BI data analyst. What do you need to do in this company? What do you need to do in that company? You need to do data analysis. You need to perform these 5 steps. In that company, you need to perform these 5 steps using a software called what? Power BI. That you need to know. Using Power BI, how you will do ETL, how you will create OLAP, how you will create reports, how you will share the reports, that you need to know. So this company, once you become a Power BI data analyst, this company will hire you to perform what? Data analysis using Power BI. After you become a Power BI data analyst, you will join company. One company will join. What do you need to do in that company? You need to do what? Data analysis using what? Power BI. Now we'll understand that. And one more point, Power BI Desktop is the major software, right? Let me open Power BI architecture to make you understand better. This is the Power BI Desktop software. Power BI Desktop software internally contains three more softwares. Power BI Desktop internally contains three more softwares. What are the three more softwares you have is Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. These three softwares got internally connected with each other and they are available in where?
Power Desktop.
Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop contains three more softwares. Tell me what are the three more softwares available in Power BI Desktop? Power
Power
Query. Second
Query.
one? Huh? Huh? Power Pivot. Concentrate. I just showing these names and asking to repeat just that names. Power Pivot and Power View.
Power Pivot.
Concentrate. Power Query, Power Pivot. Second one you have is Power Pivot. Third one we have is Power
Power View.
View. We need to use all the softwares, and using the softwares we need to perform these 5 steps, guys. Simple. Now you join this Power BI data analyst, join the company. Once you join the company, who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst?
Company.
Company. That OLTP contains what? Unstructured data. We
Unstructured
need to
data.
clean it. First, you need to take the data to the ETL software and we need to clean the data. In Power BI, where we do ETL is, there are a lot of softwares, right? Which specific software we'll use to do ETL is what? Power Query. Go and write. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. If you look at the Power BI architecture slide, I clearly wrote on top of Power Query, it is ETL. Power Query will, OLTPs also call it as data sources. Wherever my companies are storing the business data, I call it as either OLTPs or either data sources. Both are same. Power Query will connect to this OLTPs and extract the data. Power Query will transform the data. The transformed data will be loaded into Power Pivot. Whatever the data you loaded into Power Pivot, that data you'll use it and create what?
Report.
OLAP. Now, okay, we understand OLTP will be provided by our company. ETL will be performed in where? Power Query. What is the next step after ETL?
We need to transform that
Creating OLAP.
OLTP.
Where we will create OLAP in Power BI means using what?
Power
Power
Pivot.
Pivot. Please be on mute, online people. Power Pivot. Here, understand Power Pivot is a database. Power Pivot is a database which is used to create which one? Create what? OLAP. How SQL Server is one database? SQL Server is one database. Oracle is one database. In the similar note, Power Pivot is also what? Database. How you will store the data in the SQL Server in the form of tables? How will store the data Oracle in the form of tables? Power Pivot also can store the data in the form of tables. You extracted the tables. You transform the data in the tables. You load the tables to Power Pivot. Whatever the tables you loaded in the Power Pivot, they will be physically stored here. And you use the tables to design what? OLAP. So that's what I written. Okay, Power Pivot is a database which is used to create OLAP. Now we understand that ETL will be performed in where? Power Query. OLAP database will be created in where? Power Pivot. What is the next step? Creating the reports. So where we'll create the reports is using a software called what? Power View. So Power View is a software which is used to create the reports. Power View is a software which is used to what? Create which one? Create the reports. So once you create the reports, Power View is a software which is used to create the reports. That reports will publish it to where? So one more point. What is the last step? That reports you need to share with whom? Clients. So Power BI desktop cannot directly share the reports to the clients. It don't have the capability to share the report to the client. In order to share the report to the client, first we need to move the report. Publish means move. What is the meaning for publish? Move the report to Power BI service. From Power BI service, you will share with what? Client. Or we need to move it to Power BI report server. From there, we need to share with the clients. What I'm trying to tell here is To share the reports with the client, either I can use Power BI service or either I can use what? Power BI report server. I'm repeating again. So now you might want to get one question here. To do ETL, we have only Power Query. To create OLAP database, we have only Power Pivot. To generate the reports, we have only what? Power View. But to share the reports with the clients, why we have what? Power BI service and Power BI report server. There are two softwares to do this. Why there are two softwares? Why not only one? So no company will use both of them. A company will use either Power BI service. A company will use either what? Power BI report server. What is the difference is, one is a cloud. One is what? Cloud. Second one is on-premise. Second one is what? On-premise. 99% of the companies will publish the report to Power BI service, will share the report to the client. 1% of the companies will publish the report to Power BI report server and share with the clients. Most of the companies use Power BI service or report server. Power BI service, write that point. Power BI service is a Azure cloud-based software. It's Azure cloud-based software which is used what? Which is used to what? Share reports to the client. Power BI report server is a on-premise software. Which one? On-premise software which is used to share what? Reports to the client. How many percentage of clients are using? I said 99% of the companies will use Power BI service. How many percentage of clients are using here? Only 1%. Okay. Once you publish, once we develop the report in the Power View, we'll publish the report to the Power BI service. From there, we'll share with whom? Clients, right? Once you share the report to the clients, okay, I share the report to the clients. Clients can consume that report. Client can consume that report in the laptop. Client can consume that report in the desktop. Client can consume that report in the mobile phone also. Try to understand. I send an email to you. Where are the places you can check the email? Laptops, desktops, mobile phones. Same way, from Power BI service, we share the reports to the clients. Clients also can check their reports in where? Laptops, desktops, mobile phones. Nowadays, where we are checking mostly? Mobiles. In order to check in mobile, we require a mobile app. What you require? Mobile app. What is the mobile app available in Power BI is, there is a mobile app with the name called what? Power BI Mobile. Power BI Mobile. It's a mobile app. It's a what? Mobile app, which is used for what purpose? Viewing what? Reports in where? Mobiles or tabs or iPads. So you go to Play Store or App Store. You search with the name called what? Power BI Mobile. You'll find a mobile application. You need to install that mobile application and we need to see it. Yes or no? Right? Understand, guys. We need to see it. A Power BI Mobile, it's a mobile app which is used to view the reports in mobiles or tabs or iPad. We have a mobile app for iOS. We have a mobile app for Android. We have a mobile app for what? Windows. Who will install mobile app? Developers or clients? You. Developers or clients? Clients. Clients are the one who need to see it. Now, tell me guys, these are the different softwares available in Power BI. With the help of the softwares available in Power BI, can we do this data analysis? Yes or no? Yes. Where we will do ETL? Who will provide OLTP? Company. Where do ETL? Power Query. Where we create OLAP? Power Pivot. Where we will create reports? Power View. How you will share the reports mostly with the clients? Power BI service. Where clients will consume?
Mobile.
Using mobile apps, right? Perfect, guys. Now we understand. If someone asks you what is Power BI, you need to tell this statement, guys. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares which are used to perform data analysis. Which are used to perform what? If someone asks you, tell me Power BI, what is Power BI? You need to tell Power BI is the name for what? Collection of software which are used to perform what? Data analysis. Now, let's go to the last point for today's class. I'll just tell you a final point. How to perform data analysis using Power BI. Tell me guys, in the data analysis, first step is what? OLTP is who will provide it? Company. What is the second step in the data analysis? ETL. Where we do ETL?
Power
In Power BI, where? Which specific place?
Power
Power Query. Power
Mm.
Query.
Very
So
well.
in the data analysis, what is the third step?
Power
OLAP.
pivot.
Where you will create?
Power pivot.
Power Pivot. What is the, after creating OLAP,
Power view.
create reports.
Report create.
Where you will create reports in Power BI?
Power view.
Power View. Power View. Once you create the reports, what is the last step?
Share the
Share
the report.
reports to clients. Where you will, how you will share the reports to the clients?
Power BI.
Using Power BI
Service.
So these are the 5 steps, guys. These are the 5 steps we'll do. So how to perform data analysis using Power BI? The small table will tell us. We are done with the technical part from the today's class. I'll discuss now some general points. These general points are the important points in order to learn Power BI. See, if you are clear with these general points, then you'll get a lot of questions will be clarified. So technically we are done today. First we understand what is data analysis. Then we understand what is Power BI. Then we understand how to perform data analysis using Power BI. Now, instead of typing the general points, I'll copy paste those points from another notepad, guys. I'll just go to another previous batch notepad. I'm just going to open this and I'm going to copy few points from this notepad. These are the points I need to explain today. These are important. You need to concentrate and listen these points. Okay, guys. What is the first point is I want to tell. When I'm going to start a new batch, I'll tell you. What I already started one batch on 3rd, guys. So next batch will not start immediately. It will not start on 10th. So we are supposed to start, but we are going to start the next batch coming Wednesday 17th, guys. When is the next batch? 17. At what time? 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Coming batch timings is after 1 week. Roughly after 1 week, I'm going to start the batch. So already one batch was start 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you want, you can join this batch also. We are just done with introduction classes only. You talk to the front office team. They will tell you people who are willing to join this timings, you can join 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is already started. In another few days, one more batch will start in the morning time 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. You can attend another 2 classes free. I said that continuation to today's class is on what date? 17th. You people can attend 17th and 18th, these 2 days classes for free. These 2 classes are what? Free classes. However, you attended the demo for free. 2 more classes you can attend for free. What you will learn in the 2 more classes is you will start what? Practicals. Today we discussed only theory part, right? In the upcoming classes, you will learn what? Practicals. So in the next class, you people will learn how to install Power BI desktop. Who will provide this data? Company. Power BI developer work will start in where? Power BI desktop. In the next class, I'll tell you how to install Power BI desktop. Once you install Power BI desktop, I can start the practicals. Then I'll tell you how to open Power Query, how to do ETL. Then I'll tell you in Power Pivot how to create OLAP. Then I'll tell you in Power View how to generate the reports. Then I'll tell you how to publish the report to Power BI service, how to share the reports to whom? Clients. The complete process, what I theoretically discussed today, we will practically learn in the next 2 free classes. The next 2 free classes will not cost you anything. But if you join the classes, what you will learn is, you will learn practically at a high level how the Power BI software will work. You will learn in the next 2 classes. That is the new batch details, guys. Okay, once after the new batch, you are going to get one mail now. I'm going to send one email to you. What the email will contains is, first thing the email contains is recorded session. You are going to get the mail. In the mail, you will see the what? recorded session. After that, you'll get what? Notepad. In the same mail, I'm going to attach this complete notepad. This notepad have a step-by-step notes what I discussed today, right? So along with the notepad, I'll share introduction class Word document. Every class you will get the materials, guys. If you look at this, all these are related to materials. Every class you will get one Word document, one to the class wise one document. Today we have introduction. This is the introduction Word document. I'm going to attach this Word document with you today, so that you can read that Word document. You can understand even much better. So along with the introduction Word document, you also get what? Course content. In the mail, you are going to get the course content. So I'm going to attach the course content. This is the course content, guys. Let me open the course content now. This is the course content I'm going to attach in the mail. When you go to that course content, what is the duration of the course? 60 hours. In the 60 hours of time, what topics I will cover? I listed all the topics in the PDF, guys. This PDF will tell you what are the topics I'm going to cover. So you please go through this PDF 11 pages so that you can understand what topics I will be covering. Keep in mind, I will not go and walk through now all the points, but let me tell you what I'm going to cover. So the course duration will be for 60 hours. It will take more than 2 months. The classes will be from Monday to Saturday. Classes will have Monday to Saturday. Sunday is holiday. In that case, it will take more than 2 months. 60 hours, more than 2 months of time I'll cover. So in the 60 hours, what you will learn? You will learn how to do data analysis using what? Power BI. More than 2 months, you will learn this, how to do data analysis using Power BI. So what is the first step in the data analysis? OLTPs. Who will provide this? Companies. What is the second step? ETL. You will learn first Power Query. For where you do ETL? Power Query. So first you will learn Power Query for how many hours? 13 hours. What you will learn there? 13 hours of time. How to perform ETL activities. And you learn one language called mashup language. Once after the ETL, what is the second step in data analysis? Creating OLAP. Where you will create OLAP? Power Pivot. You will learn Power Pivot for how many hours? 17 hours. What you will learn there? How to create OLAP database. While creating OLAP database, you will learn data modeling concepts, data warehousing concepts, and you will learn what? DAX language. These are the three things you will learn. So DAX is one of the important language. Once you create OLAP, what is the next step? Create reports. Where you will create the reports? Power View. You will learn Power View for how many hours? 17 hours. What you will learn? How to create the reports. Once you create the reports, what is the last step? Share reports to the clients. Where you will do it? Power BI service. You will learn Power BI service for how many hours? 13 hours. What you will learn there? Azure, cloud concept, then admin concepts, then Power BI. These are the topics you are going to cover as part of the 60 hours, guys. So this 60 hours course not only include the topics in Power BI, what add-ons you'll get in the courses. In this course, you will discuss what? Real-time projects. So I'll just show you how the projects will look like. I'm just going to show one project. This kind of projects you will do. The project name I given is Retail AB project. In this project, I'll take the data from which database? SQL Server database. These are the tables I'll take. I'll do a lot of ETL work as per the requirements. I'll create the OLAP database as per this requirement. And then I'll generate reports. So there are a lot of requirements in this document. As per this requirement document, you will generate the reports. You'll generate what? Reports, guys. This kind of projects you will do. And before I explain remaining points, now let's jump into this point and understand. Who can learn Power BI? What is the question? A lot of people might have a question. Who can learn it? I can say freshers can learn Power BI. There are a lot of job postings for freshers. Freshers means who completed their graduation in the year 2023, 2024, 2025. If you completed the graduation or PG in the year, they will be considered as a fresher. You people can learn Power BI. We have opportunities, lot of opportunities for freshers. Who is the other people can learn Power BI? Who have career break or career gap? Career break or career gap means, let's assume you are done with your graduation in 2020 year. Almost you completed your graduation 5 years back. When you completed 5 years, somehow you are not working anywhere. So you have a gap for this 5 years. You can happily learn this Power BI and you can try for the job. So those people who completed in this year or before this, they don't get the job as a fresher. People who completed the graduation before 2020 or before, they must and should need to keep some experience. Need to keep what? Experience. Minimum experience you need to keep is 3 years, guys. If you keep minimum 3 years, freshers, no problem. 23, 24, 25, you can try as a fresher. You don't need to keep the experience. But people who are done with 2022 or 21 or 20 or before that, must and should you need to minimum keep how much experience? 3 years. Then only you can get the job. How can you get this experience? There are some consultancies who will provide the experience for you. So you will take the experience from the consultancy and you will keep some experience, guys. Okay. Now, those people can, I design this course in such a way, once you are done with my 60 hours of training, you can comfortably keep 3 to 5 years of experience. That much knowledge you will gain from the course what I'm going to take, guys. Lot of practicals you will do, where you will get lot of hands-on, where you can keep 5 years of experience comfortably, where you can do the Power BI project by your own. So these people can learn. What is the other category of people can learn is career transition. Career transition means you are working already in one IT skill. Let's say you are working in testing. You want to switch into BA. Yes, you can go. Or you are working in another domain, mainframe. You want to go. You are working in customer support. You want to switch into business analyst. People who want to do career transition for better growth. Data analysis is a wonderful area to have the job security and to have the better growth. Data analysis is the excellent area. Every company must and should require what? Data analysis. These people can choose. So these are the three type of people who can choose Power BI, guys. Okay. So most of the people who join my course, they would like to keep 3 to 5 years of experience. There is no doubt. If I ask, there are 30 members who join the course now, more than 30. If I ask the 30 members, most of the people will tell us, I want to try this job as an experienced person. How? Experienced person. So that is the reason I'm going to cover Power BI developer roles and responsibilities. Experienced people must and should need to know. When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, what are the roles and responsibilities we'll have? We will discuss, guys. As a Power BI developer in the current projects, what are the roles and responsibilities you'll have? With the detailed practical examples, I'll discuss. Okay. And we'll help you in what? Preparing the resumes. I'll talk to you one-on-one. I'll talk to you one-on-one and I'll just discuss when you completed the graduation, what is the best way we can prepare the resume and how we can try for the job. That I'll tell you, guys. So I'll help you for preparing the resumes for freshers who have career break and who want to do what? Career transition. We'll help you and we'll provide lot of interview questions and we'll discuss them and we will conduct the mock interviews. Tomorrow when you go for interview, how they will ask the questions, how you need to answer, that kind of mock interviews will cover. Believe me, with the 60 hours of training, you can do the Power BI project by your own. That much technical skills you can, and you can do the keep 3 to 5 years of experience. Okay, that is about what you are going to get in the course. And importantly, all the 60 hours recorded sessions we will share with you. Every class recording you will get, and we'll have a separate support team. When you are practicing, if you have any question, my support team will answer you, guys. Okay, you don't need to reach out to the trainer every time for small help. You can reach out to the support team. If the support team is not able to provide the proper answers to you, you can reach out to me also. And this is what you are going to get as part of the training. Now we'll go with the questions, guys. When I go with the questions, I'll complete the class in another 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. When you go with the questions, a common question student will ask is, okay, I'm willing to learn Power BI. In order to learn Power BI, any prerequisites are there? What is the meaning for prerequisites to learn Power BI means? Lot of people will think that in order to learn Power BI, you need to have Excel knowledge. Huh? So in order to learn Power BI, a lot of people will think that they need a what? Excel knowledge. So I can strictly say, in order to learn Power BI, there is no prerequisites in order to learn Power BI. Even you are from non-IT background, you don't have any prior computer knowledge, you don't know Excel, you don't know SQL, you don't know anything, you can happily join my Power BI course and you can learn. Even an intermediate student join this Power BI course, they can learn Power BI from very basic to in depth. Without any prior knowledge, you can learn Power BI. Okay, 2 months of time you work very hard and you learn Power BI thoroughly, and you are trying to apply the job on Power BI. Only with Power BI you don't get the job. So might be if someone said that with only Power BI you will get the job, it's wrong. To get the job on Power BI, one mandatory skill is what? SQL is mandatory. To get the job on Power BI, SQL is mandatory. So if you see Power BI data analyst jobs, most of the jobs you will have in the combination of Power BI plus SQL. 90% of job postings you will have in which combination? Huh? Power BI plus SQL. Some jobs they'll ask what? Power BI plus SQL plus Excel. Some jobs Power BI plus SQL plus Python. Power BI plus SQL plus Power Apps. Power BI plus SQL plus ADF. Power BI plus SQL plus what? Tableau. I can say ignore the remaining combination. They are just 10%. In every Power BI job, you see what? SQL. If you learn Power BI and SQL, you can apply almost all the jobs on Power BI. Okay. Now, why SQL is required? Important point you need to understand is, I'm telling something called SQL. We don't use SQL anywhere in Power BI. SQL will not use to extract the data. SQL will not use to do ETL. SQL will not use to create OLAP. SQL will not use to create reports. SQL will not use to publish the reports and share the reports to the clients. Without knowing the single line of SQL, you can complete the Power BI project. Even though you can complete the Power BI project without SQL, they don't give the jobs only with Power BI. They will ask Power BI and SQL. Understanding the point? Why? Companies will ask SQL. See, if somewhere in Power BI, if you are using the SQL, then asking the SQL in the jobs is not at all a problem. When you don't use SQL anywhere in the Power BI, then why the companies are asking SQL also? Tell me why companies are asking SQL when you don't use anywhere in Power BI? Anybody online people? Do you know why companies are asking SQL?
Handling of SQL is mandatory because we are extracting the data from SQL server only.
In Power BI, to extract the data from any database, we don't write single line of SQL code. We'll bring it with 2 clicks. No need. To extract the data, we don't write single line of SQL code. Without knowing a SQL also, we can extract. That's not the reason. Not required.
To
Let me tell you
understand the
guys.
data in the server.
To test the reports.
Test the reports. Correct. This point is correct. Why we required SQL is, so mostly when you join in the company, companies will store the business data in the databases like this. Companies will store the data in where? Database. The database might be anything. Some companies will store in Oracle database. Some companies will store in SQL Server database. Some companies will store in MySQL database. Generally, Power BI developer will take the data from database to Power Query, do ETL, in Power Pivot, create OLAP, in Power View, generate the reports. Throughout this process, I don't write SQL code. How can you blindly tell your report is correct? Okay, you created a report, you show some numbers. How can you tell that numbers are correct? So you move the data from Power Query to Power Pivot to Power View, and then to the report. The data is moving long way. There are more chances. You might do a mistake in Power Query. You might do a mistake in Power Pivot. You might do a mistake in Power View. You might be showing the wrong numbers in the report. Can I share the wrong numbers to the client? They will take wrong decisions. So after you create the reports, must and should, you need to go and cross check that report is correct or not. What is the way we will cross check is, We'll go to the databases. Databases can understand only one language. What is that language? SQL. We'll go and write SQL queries. In the database, we'll write SQL queries. In order to write the SQL queries, we need to learn which language? SQL. Every database can understand a common language called SQL. Using the SQL queries, you will write the queries. That query will give some output. That output you'll compare with what? Report output. Then your report is correct. Now go and read this point. First, what is SQL stands for? Structured query language. It's a common language used in all the databases. How? For us, English is common. For you, for me, and everyone, English is same common, right? In the same way, for every database, there is one common language called what? SQL. So in order to learn the SQL, we need to learn one database. Go and learn any database, whether you learn SQL Server, whether you learn Oracle, whether you learn DB2, whether you learn MySQL, no matter. SQL concepts are the same. In our training institute, we are teaching a database called what? SQL Server. How many hours we are going to teach their SQL concepts is what? 40 hours. So 40 hours of time, you will learn the SQL. So strictly, SQL is not used anywhere in what? Development phase of Power BI project. After developing the reports, Power BI developer need to do what? Test the reports. How you will test the reports? You will write some SQL queries that will give some output. That output you'll compare with the report output. Both are same or not. To develop the reports, SQL not required. To test the reports, SQL required. So to get the job on Power BI, you guys need to learn Power BI for 60 hours, where you will develop the reports. I'm the one who will teach it. To learn the SQL, if you already know the SQL, you learn only Power BI. If you don't know SQL, must and should you need to go for this course for 40 hours, where they will explain how to write the queries to test the reports. Venkatesh sir will explain. This is what, guys, these are my front office team members. If you want to talk about these courses in detail, you can talk to them. I'm going to paste these numbers in the chat window. And now I'll go with the questions, guys. I'll just go and take I just pasted the numbers in the chat window. You can copy them and I'll take the questions. Online people, if you have any questions, please raise your hands. When is your next class? 17th September, Wednesday, 9:30 to 10:30 morning AM. Let's go with the questions now.